Are there things happening on this land?
I have a list. You said you wanted to go to the spot where I met evil.
It wasn't human form.
Show yourselves now. The war is over.
It ain't Grandma's house we're going.
We're hearing gunshots.
What was those gunshots?
It's pretty crazy.
Much blood was spilled.
There are things in this world that we will never fully understand. We want answers. We have worked years to build our credibility, our reputation, working alongside the most renowned professionals in the field, capturing groundbreaking proof of the paranormal.
It's working!
Whoa. I can't give you an explanation.
This is our evidence, our ghost adventures. As our supernatural siege of Vicksburg continues, we now turn our attention to the Champion Hill battlefield. In the bloodiest conflict of the siege of Vicksburg, thousands of men ripped to pieces in the throes of vicious fighting, commonplace of the violent American Civil War.
May 16th, 1863, General Ulysses S. Grant and General John C. Pemberton collided right at Champion Hill. There were thousands of casualties. What's really interesting is that the Champion family, who originally founded this land in the mid-1800s, we were invited by Sid Champion V to go to his over 500 acres of battlefield. Guys, this is the biggest honor outside of the mayor inviting us to Vicksburg to do this investigation. This right here tops that. This is awesome. As we roll through the massive Champion property, I can feel the darkness. I can feel the hopelessness and despair. The air is thick with death, thick with wandering lost souls, waiting to present themselves. Sid? Zach.
Sid Champion.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to Champion Hill.
It is an absolute honor for you to invite us here, and I mean that. I want to ask you, how much land do you own here?
The family owns 567 acres of land, and it's all Civil War battlefield property.
Are there things that are happening on this land that you can't explain or are related to the spiritual dimension? What are we dealing with here?
I can give many examples of supernatural occurrences at this very location right here where we're standing with no trouble. I have a list.
The man seen sitting in the background is Al Dugas, Sid's friend. Al was sitting in the same spot when he had an awakening experience. Did you see something with your own eyes when you were just sitting out here on the porch one night?
It was misty, foggy. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but it wasn't human form. It was just like two distinct mists, you know, going up the hill like they had a purpose. When I came off the porch and I was looking at it, and I tried to see if I could get some, you know, get closer to them, but I couldn't ever get closer to them. Then when I got up top of the hill, they just kind of blended off into the woods, and that was it.
Do you think that this could have been the spirits of two soldiers?
I mean, anything's possible.
Sid now urgently escorts us to a spot where he came face to face with something evil. Okay, right now we are in pursuit of Sid. I did hear that he had some kind of like really negative, deep experience on his property.
Like bad.
Yeah, like bad.
Champion Hill.
Look at this. Get that.
Champion Hill, we're here.
Get that.
Got it.
All right, guys, we just saw a plaque. We are now entering
The hill?
the official property of Champion Hill.
You said you wanted to go to the spot where I met evil.
Absolutely.
This way. We can't drive any closer because the ruts have gotten rather heavy.
Sid takes me to the spot where he had this terrifying experience.
I had a blanket, cold, wet blanket of emotion. But the emotion was rage, hate, anger, enmity, malevolence. All this wrapped up in one, and the hopelessness that I felt within all of that at the same time.
Do you think what you were feeling at that time was a concentration from what happened here?
Yes. There's a lot of energy here because of all the battle that occurred right here, right where you're standing. All the men that were dragged over to the ravines and buried, barely buried.
It was a burial ditch.
It was a burial ditch.
Do you mind if I look over there?
Please help yourself.
Okay.
You're free to go and look anywhere it suits you.
Thank you, sir.
It's hard for me to speak. This scarred land is reverberating sadness at a nuclear level. Mother Nature is crying. She can't grow here into anything beautiful. I feel as though I want to cry with her. It's tough to hold back. It's even more disturbing to know something evil is here, feeding from this heaviness.
Troops coming through here in following years during the war commented in the journals about the bleaching bones of the dead Rebs that were to be seen in these ravines here at the battlefield of Champion Hill. This is actually a rather active battlefield as far as supernatural stuff goes. There's been many instances of things occurring out here.
One of those instances happened to be with Sid's longtime friend, Mike.
You're on the battlefield of Champion Hill. Your friend Sid just told me about a terrifying encounter that is the only thing that he has ever encountered at the same exact spot where you had an experience.
Yes. Me and a friend of mine was over there turkey hunting one day, and all of a sudden, I felt something really cold hit this shoulder. I mean, 30, 40 degrees colder than the air around me. It went all the way through my body.
Through you?
Right.
Do you think there's spirits out here on the battlefield?
Yeah.
Upon further investigation, we discover what could be responsible for the concentration of experiences here.
The Champion family has their family resting plot right here on the land. And as you can look right here, Sid Champion, the first Sid Champion, born in 1823, died 1868. The man who was laying right here witnessed his plantation home being burnt to the ground by the Union soldiers that stormed his property. Imagine all that sadness and anger that was not only injected into this ground by the very soldiers and the thousands of casualties right here where we're standing, but also of the family that's in this same ground that opposed this war. The spirit of Sid Champion, I want to thank you for allowing us to your property. We have a lot of ground to cover, guys. Let's go meet back up with Sid.
And now Sid leads us to the most ominous location on his property.
See that sign?
What does that say?
The Hill of Death.
Oh my gosh. Now we are perched upon Champion Hill.
We're up at the very top of it, the peak. It exchanged hands several times during the course of the battle in pitched combat. Soldiers later on said that they had been in battles that were bigger, but none that were any fiercer, where men stood shoulder to shoulder, loading, firing, and killing for over 90 minutes, just trading rifle fire. Much blood was spilled.
Right where we're standing.
Right here, sir. Right here. I have a great reverence for the men of the North and for the South. that died right here. Never more to celebrate, never more to eat, drink, read a good book, sleep deeply with their families again. The only sleep they had was the deep sleep of death.
We've been filming for quite a while. We're just greeted by this very, very large wind gust with very, very cool air. You smell campfire? Where's that gunpowder? It is a dangerous experiment that we're doing.
What the hell is this?
As we prepare for our investigation of this immense property, we meet electronic engineer Bill Chappell, who will be conducting a very dangerous experiment with intentions to communicate with fallen soldiers.
It is almost dark. We want to take what light we have left. Bill Chappell, we are getting ready to investigate Champion Hill Battlefield. For this battlefield investigation, what are we going to be doing with all of this equipment? What is this?
I'm coming back to the laser mics again, but this time instead of using red light, we're going to shoot ultraviolet. Instead of using
Ultraviolet lasers?
Right. And instead of one laser, it is.
Looking directly into this powerful UV laser could burn your retina and even cause blindness.
Okay, explain to me real quick what this is, because we got to go do a signal to the spirits of the battlefield after this, and you're going to witness this with us.
Perfect.
So,
When we used to do this in the past, we had a single lens, single element. This new version has 7 elements inside, and we use a refracting crystal lens on top so that we can shoot to it from any angle.
I like that. You don't have to line it up.
Right.
What is ultimately this laser has to do with getting evidence of ghosts?
As the air moves across these lasers, if there's anything spoken into them, it'll cause the laser to modulate. In other words, if you were to talk by the laser. And that modulation actually moves the laser beam slightly, and the element detects the movement of the laser.
So we can hear voices
We
through
can
a
hear
speaker.
voices through it. And we're capturing in real time the audio track.
So we need to head right over here because we have something ceremonial that we're going to do to let the spirits of the battlefield know that we are ready.
Okay.
Sid's friend Charlie brought us a Civil War cannon that he's going to let us fire ourselves. We hope the shockwaves of these blasts reignite the residual energy, waking the spirits so we can make contact and hopefully free their lost souls.
What is that in your... What is this, a muffin?
Powder.
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 That's gunpowder?
Yeah. This way gonna make all the racket.
What the hell is this?
Wow.
Damn!
If that doesn't wake the spirits up from this battlefield.
That was one of the good ones.
Wow.
It was awesome!
Spirits of Champion Hill Battlefield. Welcome us. Charlie, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll never forget that experience.
The time is now to investigate the Champion Hill battlefield. This is a massive tactical-style investigation covering over 500 acres of blood-soaked earth. As we prepare our gear and start to head out, the drive to the battlefield fills us with nervous anticipation for what this adventure may bring.
We have about a 2-mile drive until we get to the battlefield where we'll be investigating. And right now we gotta go through the forest, over the river, down in the woods, and it ain't Grandma's house we're going. It's straight to a burial ground of death.
Our objective is to confront whatever evil force terrified Sid Champion V.
It was like having a wet blanket wrapped around me, suffocating me.
And also to make contact with the thousands of Union and Confederate casualties. just getting ready to enter onto the battlefield. Remember, we are miles and miles and miles and miles away from any major town, and that makes this investigation of this battlefield that much more completely awesome, yet terrifying. As we are getting ready to conduct Bill Chappell's UV laser experiment, we are hit by a storm that comes out of nowhere.
Oh my God, look at that.
Everybody sit in.
It's raining a little bit.
Just a little.
As soon as there's a break in the storm, we continue setting up Bill's laser experiment. Billy walks about a quarter-mile away to set up the laser, at which time the storm picks up again and we quickly try to retrieve him.
Oh, don't get stuck. Oh,
yeah, this isn't a good idea.
Be careful, dude. There's like some huge muddy areas right now.
Hold on.
I walked down and fell down.
All right, hold on.
whoa, 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 whoa.
It's okay.
Whoa, that's a big dip right there.
Hold on. Oh. I can't get to Billy. With Billy stuck down the hill, we decide to just go ahead with the experiment as the rain starts to lighten up again. Bill Chappell begins focusing the laser target in which the laser beam will be hitting.
Okay, you're drifting back off center. Okay, you're back close now. Oh, you're close.
Is it a dead hit now?
Yeah,
Stay there, I'm coming down.
I think Aaron's coming to you.
Bill, is the ultraviolet laser now hitting our point?
Yeah, we can see it hitting the dome right now.
Okay, and the reason why I'm not turning that way is because I do not want to have this laser beam touch me at all or have it accidentally shoot into my eyes because I could go blind. So it is a dangerous experiment that we're doing. If you need us, call us. Cross yourself in front of the beam of light.
What the hell is that?
Caught in an unexpected storm on the Champion Hill battlefield, we're about to perform a dangerous laser experiment. So now that the laser is here, Aaron finally went down to meet Billy because we couldn't get to him because it's all muddy here. The rain is coming and going, but we're able now to get an audio signal. So Bill, what are we listening for right now?
Well, right now what we're hearing is the beam hitting the detector, and then we're hearing the wind. So anything that's going to interrupt this beam is going to stop that sound break. What we're looking for and what we're hoping for across this battlefield is to pick up an EVP, a disembodied voice, something stepping into that spectrum and saying something.
Okay. So let's get down here, get your camera down here. Let's get close to the speaker. I want you to stay here, and I want you guys to listen to that. I'm going to walk alongside the beam,
Okay.
and I'm going to try to elicit a response.
I'm freaked out, dude. The thing's going a quarter of a mile.
Okay, you're right on me.
So do I need to go left or right?
Let's figure it out. I think I can get into it where it's at.
Just as I'm about to start walking down the path of the beam, Bill and Jay see something pass right in front of it. Billy, what?
Right, like right now. See it? Same thing.
What is that?
I don't know what that is, Zach.
Oh, what's breaking it there?
Something breaking the beam now.
I now race down the hill to check for any obstructions that may be hitting the beam.
What's going on? Do you think something's wrong? Oh, we're seeing movement in a laser beam, like something obstructing it.
Guys, I got a clear shot of the laser beam. I'm standing right underneath of it. It's about 10 feet above me. I can see a clear beam that goes to Billy, and then I can see it go right up to you, Bill. And at this point so far, I don't see anything at all obstructing it. I'm gonna walk a little bit more.
Look at this. It's a big black... What the hell is that? What the hell is that, Zach?
Watch this blue half-domed target very closely as all of these mysterious black masses begin breaking the beam with no explanation. What is what, Bill?
We just had something right now.
Oh, right there.
It's going right across and just blocking the entire beam up here.
Right there.
Right now. We just had something right now.
Oh, right there.
It's going right across.
Union and Confederates, come to my voice and see this ray of light. Whatever else is here. The soil absorbed the blood of thousands. Rise out of this ground and see this light beam. Cross yourself in front of the beam of light. As Jay and Bill are listening very closely to the speaker, an unknown male voice is clearly heard. This is incredibly awesome.
What was that? You hear that?
For an entire hour, this is the only fragment of voice that comes through the laser beam speaker. It's hard to make out, but we hear "I feel dead."
What was that? You hear that?
Okay, Bill, we're gonna take off. We're heading over to the Hill of Death, which is a little ways that way. All right, we're gonna leave you here at base camp all by yourself.
Sounds fine.
Off this direction over here, you'll find an X camera rolling in a spot where I interviewed earlier, found and dug up a bunch of bullets and old relics today.
I was picking up a few random bullets, and then I came across an area that everywhere I touched it was a hit.
So I believe that's an open wound, and I want you to go over there and do some other experimental work. See that walkie-talkie? If something goes wrong, if you need us, call us. Good luck. We'll see you in a little bit. You guys ready? Follow me. With Bill remaining here all by himself, the rest of us decide to split up. Aaron and Billy will stick together while Jay and I head off in this off-road vehicle that has a thermal imaging camera attached to the roof.
What is that? Is that it? Look, it's moving.
What the hell? Just start getting these visions of hell.
We're lost.
Whoa. Did you hear that? Shh.
As Jay and I are driving through the darkened woods of Mississippi, we see two unidentified figures in the distance.
You see that, right? There's two people.
Wait. Hang on a second. Billy and Aaron come in. We are seeing two figures, but it's so far in front of us, we can't see anything in front of us. We're just stopped so we can get a good picture. Yeah, we're mapping in a couple figures here. I'm starting to think it's you guys. Can you jump up and down? Yeah, that's them.
Oh, okay.
All right, we're mapping you in on the thermal. We literally can't see anything in front of us, so we didn't know who it was. But all right, we're gonna be passing you here. Being in complete darkness, Jay and I unknowingly drove around in a big circle, and we couldn't see Aaron and Billy off in the darkness. So these two thermal figures are debunked. What's up, guys? So look, we're headed up this direction too. We're gonna head up to the top of the Hill of Death.
Okay.
So we'll see you guys in a little bit.
All right, we're gonna work our way up and see if we can't get some on SLS.
Okay.
Be safe.
We're headed right up Champion Hill right now as we speak. Right now, Bill is experimenting with ultrasonic spectrums by playing battle-type sounds within these frequencies that we cannot hear with our own ears in an attempt to elicit a response.
We're just a couple soldiers here on the wrong side. We're lost. We have no weapons, only cameras.
And we're out of provisions. If you have some food to spare, we'd be grateful.
We're going lower and lower into the trenches, Bill.
Oh, man.
Should we not be doing that?
I don't know, but I'm getting that, those chills. Not from temperature. Wait, did you hear that? Like a grunt?
Yeah.
As Jay and I approach the base of the Hill of Death, we begin seeing a mysterious ball of light.
Oh, the hill's up there, yeah. All right, walking from here. Hang on. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Is that a light? Yeah. Look at that light. You see that?
It's gone.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Now it just came back up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Holy cow, dude.
What is it?
I don't know. It's just gotten bigger. Okay, just giving you a point of reference here. This is a path, and it's down at the end of the path down here. It keeps disappearing. I got it. What are you? Gone. It's gone.
No way.
Now it's back. Just dims out, and it's gone.
This ball of light looks to be about 15 feet off the ground and maybe 100 yards in front of us. After it disappears, I begin having strange flash images.
That was weird, Jay.
You all right? What's going on?
Just start getting these flash images of just visions of hell, you know what I mean? Just bodies everywhere. Wasn't thinking it. It just popped in. Just men laying everywhere, screaming, and just these little dark creatures weaving in and out of their blood. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but it's like I just had a nightmare while I was awake, and I just snapped myself out of it. This is a very, very scary, scary feeling, everybody. This is Champion Hill right here. This is the Hill of Death. Right here is where thousands and thousands of casualties took place.
There's like huge vines out here.
Oh, this is scary, man.
We gotta keep going.
I know.
The trenches are way down there.
That's okay. We can do 5 minutes of spirit box here, all right? You just go right over there. I'm gonna set this out. Oh my God.
What was that?
Whoa. Did you hear that? Jay, shh. It's right here. That was loud. Get back. Get back. Get back.
That's guns.
That's guns.
Right where Zach and them are at.
Yes, we did. Aaron and I heard it. We're out here in the middle of the field. Zach.
Jay, come in.
Yeah, we heard it too, guys.
It was loud.
My heart is pounding.
We're getting branches cracking in front of us where we saw this glowing ball of light and where we heard the gunshots coming from.
We're hearing gunshots. I heard it first up on this end and radioed Zach and Billy and Aaron and Jay.
You guys were right now.
And right now I'm listening to them, and they're probably about 1.5 miles away from me from base camp, and they're hearing branches crack and things breaking everywhere. It's pretty crazy. And the wind is coming up, and it's one of those places where you feel like there's just somebody running around everywhere. And I'm just not sure what to make of it. Right now, just kind of watching what's going on and holding base camp down, hoping somebody will radio me back soon.
Something's just going on over here at the base of this hill.
Aaron and I are freaking out. Watch out, Jay. Watch out.
As we're investigating the Champion Hill battlefield, all of us hear 2 loud gunshots very close by. This is over 500 acres of private property, and it is illegal to shoot firearms at night in Mississippi.
I'm gonna set this act. I'm gonna set this act.
Did you hear that? Could these be residual gunshots from the Battle of Champion Hill?
I don't see anybody over here. Hello? Is there anybody out here? It's really dark here. I don't know. Billy? Aaron? I don't know what's going on.
Something's just going on over here at the base of this hill.
Where are you guys at?
By the trenches near the...
We're down. We went off the road and down. We're right here in the thick of everything, and Aaron and I are freaking out.
We're closer than
We're closer to the shots than you guys are.
Stay by. All right, we're doing the same thing. We're scanning with thermal right now.
Just keep quiet.
Watch out, Chad. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Guys, we're getting branches cracking in front of us.
Can you guys get over where we're at right now?
There's branches coming near us where we saw this glowing ball of light and where we heard the gunshots coming from. Get over here, Jay.
There are branches.
Let's go. Let's go.
God!
Sorry.
God!
I can't breathe.
What was those gunshots?
They were between you and us.
Dude, they were loud.
We were way down.
It was two.
We thought they were coming down from here.
And Bill Chappell heard him too. Bill's freaked out, by the way. He's getting in the car, locking himself up. Seriously.
He is.
Yeah.
You guys, right now we're gonna go up on the hill of death. We're gonna go up together, but let's go 2 to 2. Kind of almost flank.
I am also going to try experimenting with an old 8mm film camera because we are always open to using different types of visual devices in hopes of capturing evidence.
All right, men, show yourselves now. The war is over. Your souls are not stuck here in peril. Your souls can leave. Move on from this place. Whatever malevolent evil thing here that Sid Champion felt. Show yourself along the ridge line. Show yourself.
Do you feel that? The wind kicking up?
Yeah, as soon as you said that, you said show yourself.
All of a sudden, right after I say show yourself, an extremely strong gust of wind blows through the trees, and on the 8mm camera we capture a very strange, bright ball of light as I am filming through the trees. At one point, this unexplained light seems to burst into a brighter ball of energy. Meanwhile, about a half-mile away from us, one of our motion-activated game cameras captures a similar ball of light. Watch very closely as this anomaly appears to vanish into thin air. We believe that all 3 of these balls of light that we have captured are the spirits of Civil War soldiers who died here during the Battle of Champion Hill.
This ground here.
After holding a handful of blood-soaked earth, we will now try to speak with these spirits directly.
You like the fact that we're up here on the hill? Right after that voice.
Hey, turn that down for a second.
Right after we hear a man say, "Let us go," it almost sounds like an old Civil War bugle starts to come through the device.
Right after that voice.
Hey, turn that down for a second. Down for a second. Who's your general? What side do you fight on?
Whoa.
What side do you fight on?
What?
Whoa, that was weird.
hear a man tell us important, and because we feel we are speaking with multiple soldiers and officers, could this be one of them telling the others that delivering these messages to us is very important if they are to ever move on from here?
Whoa, that was weird. Where's the siege? What city do you need to take?
Vicksburg in an old man's voice. It said Vicksburg. Vicksburg. Like in an old
Are you kidding me right now?
What city do you need to take?
Vicksburg.
Okay, Billy and Aaron just left us. They are headed to investigate the burial trenches. Jay and I just set up this highly sensitive boom microphone going into a Zoom recorder, and we're gonna aim this in the direction where we just captured some amazing spirit box voices to see if we can also capture them through this microphone. This is the Hill of Death sign. We also have an X camera that's going to be monitoring this whole area, and directly behind me we have the thermal imaging camera still rolling.
Oh, we're about to get in it, and it ain't pretty.
I thought I saw you running down the path.
What the hell is that?
Did it just fall out of the sky?
This one hit my soul extra hard. Jay and I are east of Vicksburg, Mississippi, on the Hill of Death.
Where are you? Oh, what? Dude, what? I saw you. I thought you were running all the way up there.
What are you talking about?
I couldn't see because it's pitch black. I looked at my camera because I thought I saw you running down the path. And then all of a sudden I moved the camera up and you're standing right here. Dude, that freaked me out, man.
We quickly head in the direction where Jay is seeing this figure run through the trees, so we can try to make contact.
I'll tell you what, I've done a lot of investigations,
But this one hit my soul extra hard.
this is one of the ones that I will never forget for the rest of my entire life. A piece of these men's souls will forever stay with me in my heart when I leave this hill. I don't think it's just coincidence that we end up in these places.
Whoa, no, dude, that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
What was that?
I was sitting right there, filming you, and someone stepped on a branch, and it cracked right there.
Yeah.
While we are both sitting perfectly still, we hear an extremely thick branch break within a few feet of us. But we don't see a person or an animal anywhere near us that could have caused this, nor was it a branch beneath our feet.
No, dude, that wasn't me.
I'm just documenting that there is no big branch that you were sitting on, Jay. I was right here, you were right here, and we both heard a very, very loud stick.
To my right, which would be over there.
And it cracked, as if somebody just put all their weight on it. Like if somebody were to go and break this, like this. Like that. Sounded like a bone cracking.
Jay and I continue climbing the Hill of Death in search of figures that we feel are actually all around us, but can only be seen in quick flashes of light. After capturing no visual evidence of these apparitions on our thermal or night vision cameras, we decide to journey to the ravine where Sid Champion had an encounter with what he described as pure evil.
Boundless despair and hopelessness.
The trees are all just twisted. They just don't look like regular trees on Earth. There's dirt, the way it's just scored everywhere.
Because it's extremely dark up here, I decide to perform a thermal sweep of the area.
This right here looks almost impassable.
You gotta go down and right.
Jay, do you have an X on us? No, let me throw one up real quick. 1 second. When did a bone appear back here?
When did what?
Dude, that's a bone.
What?
This is a bone.
Hold on.
Look, it's actually on top of
There was never a bone in here.
Idea. We put all the gear in here. There was never a bone sitting in here. We would have seen that. They just fall out of the sky?
That's freaking me the hell out. What the hell is that?
All right, right now we are down at the area where Sid had this experience, this demonic experience. And Jay, you were right behind me filming me. We're doing thermal, and you come over here to grab an X camera, and you notice this bone in here that has never been in here. Where did this bone come from?
I have no idea. I put the gear in there was no bone in there.
Question is what kind of bone is this, Jay? Is that an animal bone? Is this a human bone? We would have noticed it. It was sitting right here. That bothers me, because then you're getting into some, like, weird, deep stuff.
We've done dark stuff before, but we've never had bones just appear in a demonic area.
Knowing 100% that this bone was not in the back of our truck only minutes ago really disturbs Jay and I. Is this evil entity that terrified Sid Champion in this exact spot now using this bone as some type of direct omen of things to come if we remain in this ravine much longer? We have all walked the same paths as the soldiers that died here, heard the voices riding the winds.
This ain't Vicksburg?
The Civil War delivered great horror.
Get back there.
Get back. And this battlefield will forever leave us reminded of just that.